taps low on window glass. A record spins from somewhere past. Your coat still hangs behind the door. I should have cleaned this room last week, but mess like this feels kind of sweet. There's dust and books and half a song, and maybe I don't need it all to shine or shimmer when you call. Some hearts are loud, but mine just hums like Sunday rain that softly drums. I found your old receipt today from that small cafe off Greenway. You ordered tea, then stayed for hours. And maybe I don't need to know why certain things don't get to grow. You came and left, but still I bloom like plants that lean to find more room. The rain taps slow and I stay still. The quiet comes and always Roses in the lobby, lipstick stained debate. We danced in silence on the marble floor, waiting for the preacher that never came through the door. You said this ain't Vegas, but we'll play pretend. I wore a plastic veil, you called me your best friend. It was a television wedding, broadcast to no one. I kissed you for the credits, then the scene was done. Confetti in the hallway, champagne in my shoe. I said I'd do in costume, but not to you. Your suit was wrinkled, buttons coming loose. The vows were scribbled in hotel shampoo blues. I smiled for the mirror, not for the man, thinking of a life that was never the plan. The organ never played, but we heard the hum of promises fading like a television wedding with nobody watching. All of was a trailer, misleading but haunting. You held my hand for the sake of the frame, but I left with a lighter and forgot your name. Oh, the aisle was a hallway, the bouquet just receipts. We rehearsed the moment, but skipped all the beats. So here's to the wedding with no paper trail. Two hearts in costume, doomed to fail. I said I'd do with a tear and a grin, to a love that was never written to begin. I built a garden in my mind, full of colors I can't find. People pass, they never stay, like streetlights lost in day. Mom said truth is never loud. Dad said pride can wear you out. I sat alone and wrote it down. Now I wear it like a crown. There's glass in the garden, I know I walk it slow. I don't cry, I watch it glow. Pain made a path, but I still go. You don't need to run just to grow. She said love is not a plan, it's just knowing where you stand. He gave silence as a gift. I learned how to read the rift. Life's a room you clean each night. Make your bed, then lose the light. If it hurts, that's half the fight. If you're scared, it means you're right. There's glass in the garden, I walk it slow. I don't bleed, I let it show. Hope isn't soft, it's just slow. You don't need to shine just to glow. Dreams that wore disguise, now I wear them in my eyes. Every cut became a places I won't turn back. So plant your fear and let it climb. Not every storm has to take your time. Glass in the garden and I'll walk it slow. Not every break means letting go. You wrote my name on a napkin, misspelled it twice, but I didn't mind. Said it looks prettier that way, like foreign words that never meant to stay. We talked about cities we'll never live in. You said love feels more honest in hotels, with no clocks, just the sound of the ice melting slower than we'd like. But we keep saying foreign names for things we lost along the way. You call it living, I call it escape. We're just learning how to misbehave, with softer hands and careful eyes, and places love comes cheap but not kind. You taught me that the good things fade when you stay too long in one place. You like to kiss with the window open, so the city could hear the things we never said. And maybe that was your way of staying honest, letting the silence fill the bed. You always lit 2 cigarettes, one for now and one for later, you'd say. But you'd never finish either, just like you never stayed. And we keep saying foreign names for things we never planned to claim. You call it grace, I call it delay. A slow goodbye that feels the same, with borrowed hearts in vintage wine, the kind that hurts but tastes said, meet me at the station with your red coat on. I packed a pack of menthols and left my lipstick on. We drove past 7-Eleven with a map in his hand. Said, baby, we ain't coming back. And I said, I understand. He had a look like danger, a voice like a song. Told me I was perfect, but perfect don't last long. Gasoline and cherry pie, running lights in the desert night. He said, this is freedom with a crooked smile, but freedom feels like standing trial. Hair blowing in the passenger side, loving him was suicide. Gasoline and cherry pie. He stopped for cigarettes and cola at a roadside place. I watched him flirt with the waitress, still thinking I could stay. Said he loved the way I talk and the way I lie. Said I was fire with trouble inside. He had a laugh like thunder, a kiss like sin. And I knew I'd lose, but I still let him in. Gasoline and cherry pie, running lights in the desert night. He said, this is freedom with a crooked smile, but freedom feels like standing trial. Hair blowing in the passenger side, loving him was suicide. Gasoline and cherry pie. Mama told me don't believe in boys with cars and crooked teeth, but I was raised on wild desire, not on prayer, not on choir. So if you see a girl in white on some old forgotten highway line, just drive on by, don't ask me why. I'm made of gasoline and cherry pie.
You left your sweater in the backseat again. Said it's nothing, just forgot like I forget to pretend that my hands don't miss your weight on mornings like these, the kind where the coffee cools slower than it should. We talked about everything but what we meant, like two actors stuck inside a script without an end. You only loved me in lowercase, in pauses between the second and third glass. And I still drive with no place to be, hoping the road forgets to ask why I replay our song when the city sleeps, like it's a promise I left unwrapped. The eggs overcooked, you said you like them that way, but I saw your eyes shift when I smiled too late. You opened the window, I closed the space between two people afraid to name the ache. You talked about a trip you'd never take. I laughed like that wasn't the moment I felt the break. You only loved me in lowercase, in quiet rooms where longing knew your name. still feels the same. In the chair you left slightly pulled out, like the ending wanted to be humane. Some stories never ask goodbye. They just stall between almost and not quite. We loved like people avoiding peace, and now I try to miss you without ceremony. You only loved me in lowercase. I guess I asked for too much clarity, and I still write one for the version of you that held me like time could be reading clean. But darling, I see it clear now. Some feelings exist just to leave unseen. You left your sweater in the backseat again. I wear it when I need to recall what it meant to nearly begin.
We talked about Venice in the spring, but never booked the flight. Kept tracing dreams in water rings on the table every night. You said love was just a season that nobody really owns, but I kept you like a secret, buried deep in all my poems. And now you're just a city somewhere we'll never be, a postcard never written that still lives inside of me. You're a song I never finished, but I hum unconsciously. Place that once felt certain now feels like make-believe. You held me like a deadline, soft and closing in. We made plans like we were lifelines, but time was wearing thin. Your jacket in my closet still smells like might have been. I wear it when I'm honest about the space that I keep you in. And now you're just a city somewhere we'll never be, a postcard never written that still lives inside of me. You're a song I never finished, but I hum unconsciously. A waste that once felt certain now feels like make-believe. Someone once told me some people love you in their timing, not in truth. And I wrote it on a napkin that I keep with me like proof. Now you're just a city somewhere we'll never be. I still drive through places that you once dreamed with me. You're a love that never landed, but left a mark so